What's up, guys? Welcome to the March 9th edition of On Deck. We got a fun show. We just had an insanely busy weekend. We had all of the conference championships. We had the Pan Am championships, not the Pan Am Olympic qualifier. That is this week, coming up week. Enough wrestling to make your head spin, in fact. So today, here's what we got for today's show. We got Thomas Gilman, formerly of the University of Iowa, now trying to qualify the United States for the Olympics, coming on. And we have Coach Tony Ersland. His team had an outstanding Big Tens, and has really brought them, Purdue, from a basement duel of the Big Ten to a really highly competitive program. So first person we're going to talk to is Thomas Gilman. And he, like I said, he'll be wrestling the Pan Ams this weekend, so obviously we'll ask him about that. We got to ask him about the Spencer Lee stuff. And then we'll just get his overall take on Iowa's season, the Big Tens, and their NCAA prospects coming up. So here is Thomas. All right. What's going on, Mr. Gilman?
Not too much. How are you?
Let's see. I'm having a pretty good day, except did you see the Dow crash 2,000 points? I mean, it's a bloodbath out there.
Yeah, something about that oil or something.
The oil, the coronavirus. It's getting really ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess coming off of the Big Ten yesterday, you're obviously a Hawkeye fan. You got to be pretty happy, don't you?
Yeah. It was a good day for the Hawks. Yeah.
Good day, and good season, I would say.
Yeah. So far, we got one more week to go. So.
Okay. So, whose performance were you the most excited about yesterday?
I was pretty excited about Marinelli. He made a couple adjustments, wrestled smart, just staying where he's good. Touched the water a couple times, but he ended up on top, so that's good. Staying down on those legs, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, you know what? He actually made me eat my words because I've been telling my kids that bar Zagar is a terrible finish.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it work in quite a while, and he bar Zagar Vincenzo Joseph, so now I can no longer say that.
Yeah, that was a nice finish. Usually I stay away from it too. A guy floats his hips off.
Yeah.
You get in a tough position, but I mean, if you set it up right, I guess you're doing good.
He's got some extra juice, too. He looked good. Really kind of across the board. I guess you'd say there was some not-so-great performances, but my argument the whole year has been that Iowa's just so good. Right now, you guys could have 2 or 3 guys miss at Nationals, and you're probably still going to win.
Yeah, and we saw that at the Big Tens, too. We had a lot not go our way, couple weights, and we still pulled away. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Hopefully we don't have to do that, but
yeah. So how often do you help on the coaching aspect at all? I mean, obviously I know you're still training for yourself. Do you get in there and coach at all, or do you help out, or what's your role there?
So yeah, I help out a little bit with coaching, just like more like guys that I wrestle with. I don't really necessarily go out of my way and coach per se, but if I grab a guy like DeSanto and we're scrapping and I feel something or notice something, I'll point it out and help them in some area, or kind of if I see something, I'll say something. Guys working out, and lifting or running or something, I'll pull them aside and be like, hey, let's take a look at this, or work on that position, or coming back from Big Tens, I got some notes, for a couple guys that I just.
Oh, who's getting their butt chewed?
Oh no, no butt chewing, just some stern words, I guess.
Okay.
Just technical things, or maybe mentality things.
Yeah.
I think that's what I bring most of the program is my mentality, not necessarily my technique so much. We got some great technicians for coaches, but I can just add a little bit to the guy's mentality. Maybe it's on between the coaching staff and the athlete. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about you for a second. I am going to ask you for some NCAA predictions, but we'll get to you for a second. You have a big event coming up this week. I actually just checked on the Pan Am. I always get confused which one's the games and championships, whatever. You got the Pan Ams coming up this weekend, right?
Yep. The Olympic qualifier, Pan Am Olympic qualifier.
Yes, and when are you leaving for that?
Tomorrow morning.
Ooh, tomorrow morning. Okay, and that's in Ottawa also.
Yep.
So same place, both weekends. I don't know if you noticed, but the guys are actually wrestling right now at the Pan Ams.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess I got to ask you, because the question's out there, and there's obviously rumors afloat. So I'm not going to play dumb here. But Dayton Fix was the original person named to the team. You're on there now. Do you want to go into that at all, or you just want to say they got me? I'm going to go get the spot qualified, and that's that.
Yeah, I don't really have a comment on it. No opinion really. Whatever happened happened. Obviously I've heard the rumors too, and I don't know. There's nothing
Sure.
nothing good or bad to say. Just yeah, I'm the guy now, so I'm happy that it's in my hands, and I'm confident that I can get the job done.
Okay, cool. So qualifying for the Olympics, people don't know you have to take top 2 next weekend. Obviously the Cuban guy, he kind of hammered on Darian Cruz. He's pretty tough. Is there anyone else that you guys are looking at that you think could pose some problems for you taking top 2?
No, I mean no one's gonna cause any problems. Not even a Cuban, but
I love it. I love it. I was trying to say how Spencer should talk some trash. I know you're talking trash. I love it.
Yeah, I just speak my mind. I don't know. I don't think it's talking trash. It's whatever comes on, I just say it.
Perfect. I love it. The Cuban's not causing any problems. He's going down.
Yeah, he's going down. We got him figured out.
Okay.
But no, you just got to be aware of what's going on. I'm a history guy. I know some of the backgrounds of these individuals coming from Central America, and they don't like America. They don't like Americans. It's pretty evident. So just being cautious and staying in positions where I'm good, not get in a position where I can maybe get hurt. Wrestling someone like Venezuela or Colombia, there's some animosity between them and Americans sometimes. So they bring that to the mat, I think. So they try to hurt you. And I wrestled down in the Pan Ams one time, and I felt that. Maybe a little paranoid or look into it too much, but I don't think so. So just being aware of, some of the outside factors coming into that wrestling match. And for these guys, it's more than just wrestling. For me, it's more than just wrestling too.
Yeah.
But just being safe and keep myself healthy is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And so I'm not gonna dig into that. They don't like Americans comment too much. I think that's funny especially because where you been, you were just in where Dagestan? Is that where you were?
Yeah, I was in Dagestan. Yeah, Dagestan and Ossetia.
Ossetia, yeah. How was that? 'Cause I listened to your interview with Mark Bader. It was really good. So I mean, you don't have to retell the whole story, but just give us a little bit of glimpse into that.
Yeah, it was an interesting trip. So things just kind of spiraled into control or out of control, however way you want to look at it. But I've been trying to get over there for a while now, ever since I graduated college, and just things just weren't adding up, and I just kind of got tired of things not adding up because there's too many variables with trying to give it a go. And I said, screw it, I'm going. And myself, because that's just the easiest way to do it.
Yep.
And so, yeah, essentially I was in Vladikavkaz, Ossetia most of the time, the Dartsev Academy. And then I, kind of ventured out from there, went to Dagestan for a couple tournaments, and yeah, I was just kind of venturing in southern Russia by myself, just trying to find my way.
Nice. And you loved it, right?
Oh, I loved every minute of it.
Okay. Also, Mateo Pellicone, you came home with the gold there. Really, I mean, the toughest part of that bracket was all the Americans. You had good match with Dayton Fix, close match with Joe Colon. You kind of worked the other two dudes. Did that feel good to get an international win under your belt?
Yeah, that was definitely good. It was a very good tournament for me. Physically, I didn't really feel that great. There's some, it was the first time I was making weight since Final X. Not to make a weight prior to that, but that's on me.
Yeah.
But mentally, I felt really good. I feel like I'm in a really good spot mentally, and I think that's what it's going to take to get the job done here in 2020.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to ask this question, and I can't believe that the interviewers interviewing you didn't follow up, because, and this is your own words, you said you keep your friends closer, your enemies closer with Spencer Lee. The dynamic is fascinating, and I know people have asked, and I don't know that you're going to let me in anymore. I mean, obviously, there's got to be some appreciation that you guys can push each other as hard as you can, because we break it down, you guys are probably, and this is me being conservative, probably 2 of the top 20 in the world. You could probably push towards 2 of the top 15 or 10 or something like that. How often do you guys go against each other? You call them an enemy. Is that how you really feel? And just kind of expand on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, you can read into it however you want, but honestly, we don't really go that much.
Okay.
There's I guess no reason for it, or maybe there is a reason for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not really a unique situation. You see the situation all over the country. We've been through it.
Yeah, of course.
The whole history of the Iowa program, but we don't really roll around that much. I couldn't tell you the last time we did, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
I try I try once in a while, and sometimes it just doesn't always work. So, and I get it. He's got his season going on, and he's got to stay where he needs to be, and the coaches need to keep him where he needs to be. And so I don't think too much of it. I just kind of go about my business and do my thing and just get better.
So who's your main training partners? I know you mentioned DeSanto before, but I don't believe you guys have any other active 57s right now, do you?
No, Clark, but he's kind of been hurt.
Oh yeah, he jacked up his shoulder or arm at the Open.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. We have a foreign guy, Safar from Uzbekistan. He's training here, so I go with him once in a while. But mostly the college guys, just whoever I can get my hands on. Really, just kind of depends. Depends on what I need. Like right now, I'm getting ready to compete, so I'm grabbing some smaller guys. Guys that are gonna be a little more elusive. But yeah, whoever. I'll wrestle with Mirren and guys like that up at 41. But yeah, whoever. I don't care who I wrestle. I just want to get better, and whoever kind of gives me what I need today or pushes me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel I have many feelings on the Olympic weights, which obviously limits things down to 6 weight classes, right? We know that.
Yeah.
And frankly, they're so far spread out. A 65 is going to have a hard time wrestling a 74. 74 is going to be way undersized to an 86, right? We all know that. You guys, obviously, I'm not competing anymore. You guys as competitors, hey, the world championships are nice. They're good and stuff, right? But what everyone's really looking for is the Olympic Games. And so I find this model fascinating. It's like, okay, if you're an RTC, you want to bring in as many guys as you can. But if you bring in good enough guys, they're going to end up being at the same weight class every 4 years, right? So it makes it, and obviously Iowa's had that issue specifically with 57 kg, with Ramos, Dennis, you, and now Spencer. Man, do you see it? I don't really see a way to solve the problem. I think it's just, hey, people are going to fight for it. That's the way it's going to be. Do you see any other way people can solve that problem? If you're running the RTC or an RTC.
I don't think it's a problem you need to solve. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think if it's not a problem, you don't need to solve it. I think that if you look at, let's just take one example, Hadartsev Academy in Ossetia, where I was training. You got, it's that, but way worse, or way better.
Let me ask you this though. Don't they solve that problem by they wrestle for like all kinds of different countries?
Yeah, I guess.
They kind of send them everywhere, right? So, I mean, if I would love it. I know you don't love it. I kind of love it when Americans go wrestle for other places because it's like, hey, they're still Americans. Let's get as many Americans as we can out there and infiltrating the world scene. And if there was one day where we had an American taking gold and silver and bronze at the Worlds, like, dude, how awesome would that be? Come on, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah, it would be awesome. But the only issue I have with it is it's a personal issue, right? So if I'm sitting up there and let's say I win the Olympic gold medal for Germany.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up there and it's a German national anthem.
Yeah.
It's a flag at the Olympics that I represent. That would just make me cringe, and that's something that I would have to live with the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're an Olympic champion, or you were an Olympian or a world champion or whatever, but. Yeah, I think, you know what, it would be kind of cool to have, 4 Americans standing up there on the stand and representing different countries,
Yeah.
Because
I think this year, feasibly, there's a potential multiple medalists at 57 kg, and I know you guys I know there's other good countries. I get it, right? But between Stevan Micic, whoever America sends, which obviously – You're saying you're going to be Thomas Gilman, and then Sebastian Rivera in Puerto Rico. That's 3 really good Americans who are wrestling for other countries, who I think all have the potential to do really well at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's it's neat to think about it like that.
Yeah.
There's multiple perspectives. How you
sure.
Can look at it.
Because Kadartsev. Let's go back to the Kadartsev that you were saying. Those guys. They live there, right? If I remember right, they live and train there, but don't they wrestle for all kinds of different countries?
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah, not all of them. Some
okay.
Of them. Yeah. So here's an example. Like just out of that academy, you have Tizbalov,
Okay.
who was a world medalist, and then you have Sidakov,
Yes.
both 74. Those are two of the best guys in the world at the same weight, training out of the same, not even the same country, the same club in the same town. You know, and so I think that's a good problem to have if you're a coach, right? Obviously, if you're an athlete, you know, you have your little reservations maybe towards that guy or maybe not. But as a coach, I think that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're around that weight, if you're a younger guy, you know, wanting to maybe come up and grow into that 74 kilo or 70 kilo or 79 or even 86, you know, I think that's a good selling point for that academy right there.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Iowa. You know, that's the way 125 and 133 has been for forever. You know, it's like, you know, our stock is in 25, 33, and there's no, you know, question why that is. You know, it's the training partners and the coaches, but, you know, mostly the training partners and who you have. So I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe if
even as an athlete, though, obviously you should be able to see both the positive and the negative. The positive is, well, if I didn't have anyone good to train with, it's going to be hard for me to get better. The negative is obviously, well, to your point, and I know when I was younger, I've evolved as I get older, but I would definitely see that person as my enemy. If there's another guy in my room trying to make 74 kg for the Olympic team, that's definitely my enemy. So I obviously get your perspective there. So I see it both ways, like, man, you need that really high-level person to help you, but you also have to fight that really high-level person for the spot.
Right.
Yeah, so I definitely, I see what you're saying. I see both sides of it.
I think like just you kind of solve it personally by just being a competitor, you know. And, you know, when you're on the mat, you know, it's fucking game on, you know. But
yeah,
you're off the mat, you know, it's no big deal. You know, I have no problem with anybody. You know, anybody can come to my house and we'll have tea and hang out or whatever. But you know, we step on the mat, I'm gonna try to rip your head off.
Yeah, you're a tea guy, not a coffee guy.
Oh, I'm both guy.
Okay, you're both guy.
He's a little more calming, you know, so.
Yeah. I could never stand when I was in Russia, and you just did this, so maybe you can speak on this. Dude, I'm less picky than I used to be when I was young, but, dude, the food always grossed me out. I would subsist on bread, tea, and cheese for a week, but the meat where they put the stuff in the meat, you're like, oh, what is that over there? I don't want to touch it. It's gross.
Yeah, it's definitely different, you know. I'm pretty picky, but I'm less picky than I was, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I just kind of force myself, just like when I'm over there, especially when I was by myself, and just whatever everyone else is eating, I'm just going to force myself to eat it because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of learn to grow that way. Just forcing myself to do it just because it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. All Iowa-based predictions, NCAAs. How many points does Iowa win the NCAA championships by?
I don't know what the number skew is as far as how the number system works.
Yeah.
But I think a lot. I think we're run away with it.
Run away with it. Okay. Well, let's go. This will be easier.
It'll be close.
How many All-Americans?
All-Americans? 7 or 8.
7 or 8. That's fair. I think that's probably, if you were betting, if you're gambling, that'd probably be your most likely is 7 or 8, somewhere in there. Okay. How about how many NCAA champions? I'll give you. How about this? I don't want to make it too tough. I don't want anyone in the room to get mad at you, so you're gonna name them. I'll give you an over/under. How about that? Over and under.
All right.
2.5. You got over. You got under.
All right.
I think 2.5 is pretty fair.
3.
You think it's gonna be 3? Okay, so you're picking the over on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Are you going to go to? So you got busy because you're going to Pan Am's, and then obviously you got Olympic trials are only 4 weeks away. Minneapolis is not that far from you. Are you going to go to Minneapolis?
No.
You're not going.
Yep.
So you're staying home and training. Is Coach Perry going, or is he staying at home training with you also?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I imagine. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't talked to him about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It wouldn't surprise me either way. It's close, but also we'll just be getting back from Canada, and
yeah.
Then he travels a lot, man. So
Mark does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any last words? Anything else you want to tell us? Get off your chest. You want to ask me any questions? You can ask me some tough ones if you want.
Some tough ones?
Whatever you want.
Man, I don't have anything. It was fun.
Okay.
Talking. I don't think we've ever really talked before. So
never. This show's been great for me because I get to talk with people like you who I have not got to talk with before. So, yeah, this is great.
Yeah. So we'll have to do it again sometime.
Okay, I appreciate it. Good luck at Pan Am's. Go qualify that spot for America. And then we will see you at the Olympic trials in, 3.5 weeks? 4 weeks?
Something like that.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace.
Yeah.
All right. That was Thomas Gilman, guys. I thought he was open. He was honest. That was a lot of fun. Him and I have been critical of him in the past, and so it was nice of him to come on. I thought that was a very fair interview. I thought the most interesting part was the part where he said that, I can't remember exact words he used now, but I believe he said something effective. I don't remember the last time Spencer and I wrestled. I find that to be very interesting. I think that's obviously, as a coach, the Coach Brands or Coach Perry, that's a very tough dynamic for them in the room. We mentioned there, no matter what they do, there's only one Olympic spot at 57 kg for America. So puts them in a very unique, very difficult position to work through. They haven't had the rep at 57, but they've had a lot of different reps at 57 over the course of the past, 6 or 7 years with Tony Ramos, Daniel Dennis, Thomas Gilman, etc. And now obviously Spencer Lee is going to be tried to be one of those representatives. So I think that dynamic is fascinating. I know they don't really like talking about it or discussing it, but man, from an outside observer, how can you not want to ask more, get more information? It's just such a great storyline going into the 2020 Olympic Games. Okay, let's bring on Coach Ersland. Like you said, they qualified 8 guys for the NCAA championships this weekend. They had a really good showing. They took 5th place. And so let's get him on here. What's up, Coach Ersland?
Hey, not a lot. Just, it's a busy Monday morning after getting back from Big Tens. You got hotel arrangements, workouts, schedules, itineraries, just all that stuff. The guys have a day off, and so we'll let them recover, and the coaches will get busy with getting ready for NCAAs.
Don't you make Jake do that all right?
Yeah, Jake's been scrambling all morning, got his butt out of bed. He's not a college student anymore, so, he's a working man now.
Yeah. I see that Burroughs poster in the background there. He wrestles Franklin Gomez here in a couple hours.
Yeah, I know. And, the crazy thing, I saw Coach Manning, obviously, out at Rutgers, and he was leaving last night, getting the car to drive 6 hours, I think, to go see it. So, a lot going on. Obviously, we'll be
Wait. He was driving from New Jersey to Ottawa?
That's what he said.
What?
I asked him if he's going to fly, and he said, "Nah, I'm going to drive."
Come on.
Hey, I'm just telling you what he told me. I hope he decided on a flight, but from what I last heard, he was going to do the drive.
Wow.
Right?
That's wild. That is wild. It's good dedication. I guess before we talk about how good your guys' performance was, you coached in Nebraska, you probably feel good. They had a really good performance last weekend also.
Yeah, strong performance. I know they were really happy getting all 10 guys in. That consistency up and down their lineup really paid off, and I'm sure they're looking to score with all 10 guys. I think that can be an edge that they have over other people, some of that depth. So, obviously being there for 8 years, happy for those guys. We're trying to beat them, so I don't wish them too much good luck. But being there for so long, it was nice to see them have a good tournament.
Yeah. So they got all 10 through. You guys had a really good tournament. You guys got, I believe, 8 through, correct?
Correct, yep.
So 8 through, and I don't think you have a chance on the wild cards in any of the other spots?
No. At 65, we pushed a kid up there, and at 33, our regular was in there. But, I just don't feel like he's going to measure up with the guys who have kind of fallen into that wild card position. Yeah, it's always tough getting the wild cards. Okay, let's just kind of run through your lineup at Big Tens, and then we'll talk about your whole season. We'll start from the beginning. Devin Schrader has a good tournament. Obviously, Spencer Lee, he's just a freak. I don't think there's anything else to say about that. I didn't think. Yeah. It's funny because he crushes people, and then you feel like, well, I don't feel like Devin Schrader wrestled all that bad, but the score sure looks terrible. You're right. And honestly, he got turned at the very end, maybe inside the last 10 or 15 seconds to really, put four more points. He's closed the gap. He didn't give up that turn until the very end. So he defended the turn better, but we still got rode hard, and we've got to get to a position where we can work to escape, not just defend the turn. And that's where Spencer puts a lot of guys, right? You're so worried about the turn that you're just fighting to not get turned instead of fighting to score points. And so we've got to find a way in the next 2 weeks to not just defend, but get to a position where we can start chipping away and coming out, earning escapes and getting back to our feet. We had 2 good looks. If you look at, we had a nice single leg where we got our lock popped quick, but then the high crotch, we just had to have an adjustment. So better though, progress from what our first meeting was with him.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, you don't have to speak as the Purdue wrestling coach. You can speak as whatever. I watch Spencer, and some of the things he does, and I could never feel it because I'm, 80 pounds bigger than him. He just looks so strong. And some of his positions are like, wow, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. You know what I mean? Like the one time you're saying, I think it was a single or high crotch, and Schroeder gets in nice and deep, and all of a sudden like,
right? I thought we were going to take the corner. It was a nicely timed single.
Yes,
he dropped in nice. It looked like he was going to take the corner, and just like that, he squared his hips and popped the lock, and it was gone.
Yeah.
So, no doubt.
Yeah, wild. Okay, 149 pounds, Griffin Perriott. I think he's kind of had a little bit of an up and down season. Obviously, he was at 157 the year before, but a really solid tournament. He took 2 losses at the end, but he did get the win over Yaya Thomas. He got the win over Cole Martin. And so I feel like, obviously the 2 losses then you probably don't like, but I think you feel pretty good about the way he performed at the Big Tens.
No doubt. Inconsistency this year had hurt him. And so going in as the 10 seed and then going to 6th place, he obviously wrestled above his seed. So there's positive there. I thought for the most part, he did a nice job. And he was 10 seconds away with a 2-point lead in his placing match, where he just kind of fell asleep with his feet. He didn't focus to move his feet like he should have. But if we can just kind of take those little mental lapses and turn around, I was happy for the most part how he competed, and he's a guy that will be dangerous in that bracket. Where he's going to fall. Yeah,
is the weight an issue for him? Because sometimes as I've watched him this year, I think, man, the weight kind of looks like it could be an issue.
Yeah, and I think it's more about, kind of his discipline with it at times.
Yeah.
He would even agree. Obviously, there's a cut there. He's a physical kid. He carries some size. But when he's on it and he's really disciplined with it and he's doing a great job, he can be effective at that weight. Now, especially on a 2-hour weigh in a tournament setting is a little different. Some of those guys, they do a little better. And I think, he's got it under control. He's in a good place with it, and it allows him just to focus on competing instead of, hey, scrambling to make the weight and how am I going to, those other concerns, obviously, that come into a guy's mind. So he seems to be in a really good place where he can just focus on the competition part.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, Kendall Coleman. Man, he's been a real high point. He's a freshman for you. I know, guy I watched a lot growing up because we always wrestled the Chicago area kids and all this stuff. He's having a great year. Obviously, comes a little short against Ryan Deacon, but he beat Peyton Robb, beat Elijah Cleary. Man, he's had a really, really good year.
Yeah, he's had for a freshman, he's been very consistent. It's taken a very good kid to beat him. And, he gets better the second time he sees guys. He handles things a little bit better. He makes nice adjustments. So for a freshman, man, his demeanor out there has always been very good. He doesn't get, upset or, kind of where he's out of rhythm. He's always working through it and trying to figure stuff out. And you can tell he's obviously a very good athlete. Yes. But I think his demeanor out there is what I've really enjoyed watching, because he doesn't get that rattled look and start looking around like things are moving too fast. So I like where he's at, especially going into nationals. He's gonna be like, guys see it. He's gonna be danger for anybody.
Where's he gonna be? You think like a 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there?
That's what we were thinking. Caleb Young, obviously at Iowa, took a big hit losing to Rob, but then following up with his loss to the Illinois kid, Barone.
Yep.
So I don't know what they'll do to him on his year. He's got some wins over us, but do we leapfrog him? If we do, maybe we're in the 5, because I think going in we were around 6. So it'll be see how much they weigh the conference tournament in terms of seeding.
Yeah. Okay. Let's skip to another really high point in your lineup. Dylan Lighty's been a high point all year. Yeah. He wrestled Mark Hall really tough. Is that semis or quarter? I'm blanking with this. It's got to be semis.
Semi.
He's got to be
semi.
semis,
Yeah.
right?
You betcha.
Yeah. And then comes all the way through and takes third place in a super tough bracket. I mean, is he going to be the 3 or the 4 at nationals? Somewhere in there.
Yeah, no, you just kind of mentioned it. I don't know. I mean, I think he's the 3 because he's wrestled a tremendously tough schedule and seen just about everybody.
Yeah.
But you've got Cutler out there. I don't know. Does he have maybe a loss to Hall is all?
He doesn't have a loss. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can get into the 3, I don't know. I don't know if they'll let us leapfrog him or not. But the difference in the Hall match with Laddie was the 2 stall calls, and they both came within 10 seconds of each other. He got warned because Hall had been kind of chipping away, but then you got the out of bounds, where he attacked and they thought we backed out. So, we take the 2 stall calls away and it's a draw, or at least now it's interesting. So, we feel excited for what he can do. We need to get him a little sooner. Obviously, he's got a lot of OT wins, which is great. Right?
You love that, right?
Yeah, I know he's good in overtime, man. He's calm. He's collected. He knows how to execute. But, man, you would just like to see him maybe go get one early, and then guys have to come after him. The counter offense is good. People don't want to have to come after him a lot. Yep. So, there's some things we got to work on there. But he's doing well and winning the tough ones. Yeah,
let me ask you about him, because this is one of my favorite topics to bring up. And listen, I'm very biased, so you can say whatever you want. Don't be biased by my question asking.
Yeah.
I'm on WrestleStat. You ever use that website?
Yes, absolutely.
It's fantastic. He was 16 and 19 as a freshman, and I didn't realize it was that bad. I knew every year he's gotten quite a bit better. What allows someone, because 16 and 19 is terrible, right? And then now this year he's 31 and 2. What allows someone to make that much progression over the course of a 4-year college career?
Some of it for him, I felt like, was the weight. He cut 65. If you look, his first year was 65. After that, he went up. So I think he found his weight class. That's certainly part of it. But I think the other part is it's taken him maybe a little longer to figure out, like, hey, I'm good at this level. He was not a guy who came up through the ranks. That was my first class at Purdue. Okay. And he wasn't a guy in your top 100. He wasn't as highly recruited. He won a state title finally as a senior, but hadn't done as much before that. So I think just that mental growth, he just figuring out, hey, I can wrestle at this level, and then knowing what it takes to be successful. It was a slower progression, but as you mentioned, every year's been steady, solid growth, in progress. He hasn't let the setbacks deter him. And some kids, they get their head down and it's hard for them to recover. And he's just always said, hey, I'm excited. I'm getting better. I'm seeing it. And, he's just been short twice now in that round of 12. And, he's still really hungry. You can see he wants to win those tough, gritty, matches.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, last guy, and I don't know how much you want to disclose. Obviously, Christian Bruner has had a really good year, but has had some health issues second semester. Injury default out of the Big Tens. I don't know. Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Sure. Most people saw the Rutgers duel. He had a significant injury there, and so we had to hold him out for the rest of the season. He didn't get to train as much going into Big Tens. Our goal was just to get him in under that number at Big Tens, and essentially almost wrestle him back into shape. Clearly he had been training, with us, but it was pretty, well monitored, and so. We needed to get him kind of get the rust off, get him back in shape, and get him under the number. So when he got to that 6th place match, the knee was a little sore. He'd wrestled 4 matches. Yep. And obviously the goal is always, can you win a national title, be an All-American? So just to err on the side of caution and give us 2 more weeks of training, we decided to pull him from the tournament and ice that knee and get it feeling better. So I'm really happy how he came out, because you could see the first match or 2, it just was rust and him trying to get his feet underneath him. And then there's last couple, you could see him coming, with being comfortable and then pushing a little harder with pace and things. So I thought from just getting the goals that we had for him, it came out as good as it possibly could. So he's going to get his chance at nationals, and he got matches to boot. So we'll see where they put him in the bracket. He was another guy. I think he's 4 in the RPI and maybe 6 in the coach's ranking. So where they put him now will be interesting. But I think I feel really good knowing where he was a month ago to where he's at now. We got a chance to do what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's so we got NCAAs in 10 days here. You mentioned Dylan Lighty was in your first class at Purdue. you're getting through that. Everyone says give a coach, one cycle to get his recruits in. Obviously, Purdue's trending in a very positive direction. You had a bunch of big wins this year. I think the Cliff King Las Vegas is a really good tournament for you guys. Give me the sales pitch. Where's Purdue? You guys have came a long way. I gave you that much. Where are you guys going from here?
No, I told the guys this just last night before we got on the plane to come home, fifth place at Big Ten, it's great, right? That's significant growth, especially somebody gave me the stat. It was since 1992 was the last time. So that's a
really?
long time.
92?
That's what they said.
Oh my gosh.
That's what my sports info guy told me. It was 92 since Purdue had been in the top 5. So
wow.
That's a long time.
That's a long
time.
But
I told him, I said, that's not the destination, guys. That's not what we came here to do 5 years ago. So while it's a rung on the ladder, I didn't come to take a backseat to Penn State or Ohio State or Iowa. So I'm trying to do. So my sales pitch is let's do something for the first time that's never been done. Clearly, we're in the right conference. I have great coaches, and we're getting results. We're developing kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
I love it. I had fun with this. Is there anything else you want to tell us, ask me, or anything else?
No, hey, listen, we're really excited. We think we got a great chance to do some damage. With 8 guys going, we can score, we think, and do a nice job. So we're just looking forward to closing out the year the way we started it.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate it. I'll see you at NCAs in about 10 days, and great job at Big Tens.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the talk.
You got it. See ya.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was Coach Ersland. Wow. First top 5 finish since 1992. And the other thing he didn't mention there was there used to be a lot less teams in the Big Ten. So taking top 5 would have been significantly easier, right? Top 5 out of 10 versus top 5 now out of 14. Taking top 5 is significantly more difficult than it used to be. So awesome job for him. Obviously, I know it's not his destination, but as an outside observer of what he's done with that program, I think it's awesome to see. Obviously, he was at Nebraska with Coach Manning for 8 years. They had an outstanding run last weekend. So great job, Coach Ersland. We kind of on this program on deck, we've highlighted a bunch of different programs who've made gigantic jumps this year. The guy we've had on twice, friend of the program, 2 friends of the program, actually, Brian Snyder. They took second, like we mentioned, from Nebraska, and then NC State won the ACC championship. So congrats to Coach Pop. That is it for On Deck this week. We will try to get a few guys who wrestled the Pan Am will be qualified this week, and we'll try to get them on for next week's show. Then we got the NCAA championships. That's going to be a wild weekend. Who knows who we'll have on after that. Hope you guys enjoyed listening. That's it for me. Talk to you guys later. Peace.